In this video, we will take our first steps in GeneXus Next. We'll create our first project and briefly explore the development environment, getting familiar with its main components. When working with GeneXus, all development is organized within a project called a knowledge base, or KB for short. Let's create our first KB. From the main start screen, we can click directly on New Knowledge Base, and a window will open where we must fill in some details. Another option is to do this from Fail, New Knowledge Base. It prompts for a name. We'll name it Travel Agency, since our course will revolve around a travel agency. Here, we can indicate if we want to prototype the application locally or in the GeneXus cloud. We can also select the desired language so that GeneXus generates default texts of buttons, labels, messages, etc. The default option is English. In the backend section, we can choose the programming language in which GeneXus will generate the application, and the database management system, DBMS, to which the application will connect. If the goal is to create a mobile application, from these front-end options, we can select the Android or Apple platform. It's also possible to select Angular if we want the web application to be generated using this framework. We click on Create, and GeneXus will start to generate our working environment. This may take a few seconds. Once created, we are already inside the project's development environment. Now that we have our KB, let's explore the development environment. On the left, we see the Knowledge Base Explorer, or KB Explorer, which is like a tree that organizes all the objects in our project. At the moment, it is practically empty because we haven't created anything yet, but soon we'll fill it with objects such as transactions and web panels. Below, we have the Preferences option, where we can configure options related to the technologies used in the project, both in the backend and front-end, as well as everything related to the database, among other KB environment and behavior settings. In the top bar, we have quick access to the most important options, such as creating the objects that will bring the application to life, saving our KB, compiling, running, and so on. In the center of the screen is the main editing area. When we open an object, this is where we edit it. On the right, the first two options are key in the development of our application. Properties, where the properties of the selected object or control are displayed and configured, and the toolbox, where we can find controls to drag into the design of our screens. Throughout the course, we will make frequent use of both and explain how to use them. Below, there's an option that allows us to configure settings to ensure our application is responsive, meaning it adapts to different screen sizes. And GeneXus Next includes a great new feature, an artificial intelligence assistant called Nexa. From here, we can make requests in natural language and it will perform the actions for us. We can also make queries, for example, technical questions on how to implement a specific requirement. We'll go into the details of its usage and potential in future videos. At the bottom, we have the Output panel, where compilation messages, warnings, and errors are displayed. All these configurations we've just seen are collapsible, allowing us to save space for our main task. In addition to being collapsible, they can be moved to different locations according to each user's preferences. For example, we can move the Preferences panel from the left to the right, the toolbox to the left, the Properties panel in the lower section next to the Output, or to the main sector of the screen. If we close any of them from View, Other Tool Windows, we can insert it again into our IDE. Now we have our KB created, and we know the basic tools of the environment. In the next videos, we'll start building our application by creating the necessary objects.